Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. While we're all still hiding in our houses from some invisible virus, we figured we can't get to the range, so it might be kind of fun just to get out a collection of Colts and kind of show the group of them and do basically a short video. So let's start with, I've got a 1911. This was the first automatic adopted by the US military, not this exact version, but the 1911 in general. This particular one holds 8 rounds in a very nice stainless steel magazine. Get it so the light doesn't turn it right side up so you can actually see it. Now this one, when I got it, had a few things on the Colt site that kind of advertised wrong. The magazine was advertised as a 7 round, which of course getting 8 didn't bother me at all. The sights were advertised as being 3-dot, but they actually were blackout. These have the U-dot on them because I painted them. And when I contacted Colt about the sights, they basically told me to go away. That's the way it is, get over it, which kind of annoyed me, but I just painted them and they work. By the way, you may see a few scratches and scuffs on different guns that I pull out. I don't do safe queens. If I've got it in my safe, it's going to go to the range. It may go out to the woods. It's going to get used. I try to take care of them, but I don't worry about keeping them pristine and then never using them. Overall, this is a very nice gun. This is the 70 series, so it has that very nice, of course it is clear, has that very nice 70 series short, crisp, smooth, light break. Really nice gun. I've had a little trouble with the extractor on this. That's not uncommon with 1911s. I've had to tune it a little bit. But it's really, this is a kind of an iconic pistol in the overall 1911 look, and in full stainless like this, it's just really nice to look at. We'll set that little guy aside. The next one I've got, we'll stick with the 1911 format, is I have this Colt Delta Elite. The Delta Elite series was the first commercially successful 10mm. And you see that it's got the Elite logo on it. It wasn't the first 10mm, but it's the first one that actually was successful. They made these from 87 to 96, and then they reintroduced them in 2008, so this is from the new series. This is an 80 series. It still has quite a nice trigger, but it's just a hair heavier than the 70 series because it has to operate that safety piston. But this thing, holding 8 rounds of 10mm, if you run across some rather bad-tempered, hard-headed critter like a hog or a bear, you've got about 9 times you can tell them to leave you alone. And you can say it with some pretty serious authority. 10mm moving fast and 180, 200 grain will get something's attention. We'll put that aside and move on to these little guys that are sitting here hissing at us, the Snake series. This is the Cobra. All of these are the new reintroduced versions of the Snake guns, the relative Snake guns. From 55 to about 98, the Snake series was made by Colt, and then they discontinued it and they've started reintroducing it. This one came out in 2017, and it's the Cobra. It came with rubber overmold grips, and we put these VZ grips on it. It has kind of a satin pebble finish. It's a nice looking gun, but a lot of people have kind of indicated that they didn't like the finish. It holds 6 rounds of 38 special. It has a front fiber sight and a rear gutter. With the fiber, kind of compensates for the gutter, and when the hammer's back, of course, it doesn't obstruct the gutter at all. It works as sights go. It's a usable sight. The gun is comfortable to shoot. It works well, and with the 38 special in this small of a package, it's easy to handle. So it's been a fun gun to handle, and it has worked from day one. We've had no trouble whatsoever with this. The only reason we replaced the grip was because it looks nicer. You know, the rubber overmold is of course more comfortable, but these grips with the pattern in them and the Colt logo just look nice. It's a double action, single action. Nice, smooth, moderately heavy double action. And a really, really short, crisp, almost imperceptible movement single action. That was one of the characteristics of the Snake series, is that they had nice triggers. Moving along in that Snake series is the King Cobra, which basically took the Cobra, made it a little bit bigger, and added 357 capability to it. It also came with rubber overmold, and I put this blue VZ grip on it just for a little diversity. It also has a very smooth, moderately heavy double action and a super, super short, crisp single action. The triggers between the two are very similar. This one seems to be a little lighter single action, but you wouldn't notice it if you did one on one day and then went and did the other on another day. You do them back to back, you can kind of tell, but the difference is minor. And you'll see that the finish has gotten basically what you would consider nicer. It's less pebbly. There's still a bit of a pebble pattern in it when you look at it really closely, but from a distance it really looks more highly polished. The various people that have commented on or the videos that we did on these two guns seem to like the finish on this better than the Cobra. And I think it's really the same metal treatment. All they've done is polished it more highly. And you'll see it's a 357 Magnum, and you see the snake logo on it. The snake guns themselves really didn't do anything that many other revolvers of the era didn't do as well. They just were a little more refined, a little more tuned. And this guy was re-released in 2019, so they seem to be doing a snake a year. So definitely I've joined the snake a year club, because in 2020 the Python was reintroduced. Again, 6 rounds. All of the snakes are 6 rounds, and this one is 38 357 as well. This gun was iconic back when it was originally in production, but the Walking Dead TV series really brought this one back to the forefront. This one was carried rather poorly by the main character of that series, and when this one and the one before it now has an even more highly polished finish, and it has a very, very smooth, light double action, and the single action on it is just unbelievably nice. Just short, crisp, light. This one comes with a blackout rear sight and a painted orange front sight. It's not a fiber optic, but it's very easy to see, and the sight's adjustable. And it comes with these wooden grips, or walnut basewood. These are laminate. The ones on the very original Cobra were solid wood, all one piece. And actually, I meant to say Python. So many snakes on the table, it's kind of hard to keep them straight as I'm talking about them. This one also has a wide hammer spur, so it's easy to get a hold of it, even though the gun overall is bigger, so there's more movement you have to do. Really, just the Snake series are just nice guns. Now, this one had kind of a rough entry and re-entry into the market. They had some problems with the crown, some problems with the side plate being loose. This gun has functioned correctly. We haven't had any of the problems with the side plate, and this does have minor damage to the crown, but it's minor enough I'll deal with it later. They've fixed all that, so if you get one today that's been manufactured after all that bit of fun, it's going to work properly. They kind of messed up on that. They made the Snake series basically from 55 to 98, and there were some others in the series, a Diamondback, an Anaconda, which of course the Anaconda is pretty well known, and the lesser known Boa and Viper. It'll be interesting to see how many of the snakes they bring back. But this is the most recent snake. A little bit of fingerprint on it. That's what you get with the stainless steels. And then kind of working backward, you've got the King Cobra. This one I neglected to mention has a brass bead that looks white under the studio lighting and a rear gutter. Just nice looking guns. And of course we have the original Cobra, the first release, the initial gun they released. And I'd also neglected to show you the sights on the Delta Elite, which this has the 3-dot sights that was supposed to be on the other one, on the 45. And that classic, beautiful 1911 style pattern. There's a lot of newer guns out there that do automatic better than the 1911, but very few of them look as nice as a 1911, especially when you get one in all stainless steel. So hopefully you enjoyed kind of a little brief tour through my collection of Colts. And if you like this type of video, I might do this again with, let's say, 6 Hour, Walther, or some of the others, or even maybe the infamous Glocks. But beyond that, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, click that bell to be notified if you do. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, Facebook. We're kind of all over the place. And have a great day. Thank you.